Good morning, viewers out there. You're welcome to this segment of our program, AM Cafe, this morning. Thank God it's another Friday. And today I have in the studio members of, they are all engineers. But you know, engineering arms are very many. We have the electrical electronics, we have the computer, we have civil, we have mechanical, and so many others. And they are all engineers. But they have something in common. The Nigerian Institution of Engineers. Nigerian Society of Engineers, sorry. Now, I have them in the studio, and the immediate past chairman of the Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineer is here with me. He has been a regular face here, and is coming here to introduce the latest chairman, brand new chairman of Nigerian Society of Engineers. Who will be taking over from him. Oh, I mean,
he's taking over from the.
He's taking over
from Engineer Wale Alonge.
Wale, okay. So it's my pleasure welcoming you into the studio. And I want to say congratulations to you on your inauguration that is on the way.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Engineer Olayoye, it's my pleasure having you.
Thank you very much, Director.
You've been a friend to the house, and Engineer Idowu, you are as well welcome.
Good morning, sir.
We have other leads of engineers outside there. They won't be part of this discussion here, but I will mention them at the end of the program. Let me now say something, because engineering is one profession that covers all human matters. Because if you are at home, you need a plumber. At your house, you need an electrical engineer to work on your electricity. You want to build your house, somebody must come around to come and tell you, oh, this is how to do it. So that's why I said your profession is a must know, is a must relate profession to everybody who wants to have a better living. But recent developments gives us some kind of, why is this happening? My father, you allow me to copy him. He is fast in Yoruba proverbs. He will say, "Onekete jifin, or lakete jifin." Anishekete nikonimbe nofini. That is, you today, you tomorrow, you today, you tomorrow. Are you the only person there? If I go through my list of what I have here, 3 weeks ago, there was a collapse at Banana Island, Lagos. And there was another one where 7 persons was rescued, 7-story building. Now, in Abuja, there was another building collapse. You remember in 2021, when we talk of that Ikoyi
21-story building at Ikoyi.
21-story building.
Where 40 people,
died. Sorry. I know you are not happy. Why must this continue to happen in our country, Nigeria? I want to ask you, because you are the chairman, you are signing out.
Thank you very much, the Director. I want to appreciate your efforts towards ensuring and creating awareness whenever issues like this happen. I remember vividly in 2021 when the issue of the collapsed building at Ikoyi, where 40 lives were lost. You called us here, and at some other occasions you called us to discuss on the flood and flooding, the way forward to protect. So I'm advin shield.
Amen.
Yorùbá bọ̀ wọ́n ní àìlásọ lọ́rùn pàká. Gbogbo wa ni ó kàn. So when we look at this, I always feel bad, feel sad. Incident building collapse. What is happening? So from the inception, there are 3 stages, important stages of the cycle of a structure. The first is the conception, where we have the design, where all the parameters needed for stability and safety of the structures are taken care of at the design stage. And then we have the construction, where all the materials and specifications are put together to have a building there. And the third one is the usage. Each stage of these development,
yes,
each stage is very essential. But between the construction and the design, we have what we call pre-construction, and that is the investigation of the soil. All these stages are important. Let me start with the design. At the design stage, we will ensure that the structure is properly taken care of after the architect must have been briefed and they put down the plan.
Who briefs the architect?
It is the client. Thank you very much. The client has to brief the architect that this structure, this is what it is meant for. Is it a public building? Is it a shopping complex? Or is it a story building? All this, the information will be given to the architect.
Okay.
And after the architect puts the thing down, engineer will be called on. Most of the problems we do have is that at each of the stage, each professional has a role to play. But at times, either because of the greed, because of the lack of knowledge, an architect may want to do the work of an engineer. An engineer at times may want to do the work of architect. But in most cases, where we do have problem of collapse of building, it's always during the construction stage. If you look at it, the common one nowadays, precisely on 14th of April, the one that happened recently at Banana Island. It was during the construction that it happened. The one that happened in 2021 at Ikoyi, where construction was during construction. So that is why it is important that during construction stage, or before the construction will start, the soil should be investigated. How you buy into or in civil engineering structure, we do ask the ground. So that
can you carry this load?
Yes, that's what we call the bearing capacity of the soil.
Of the soil itself.
So if you just import a design and you think the structure will stand, it may not.
It won't stand.
It may not stand. There are many factors. Let me just be brief about this. The collapse of a building or any structure may be caused by 1, 2, or 3 of these factors. 1, bad design, or poor design. 2, poor selection of construction materials. 3, SON is not doing much recently. I went to a market to buy reinforcement bar. They sold 10 mm thickness to me for 12 mm.
They wanted to?
They sold it already. I paid for it, and when they brought it to the site, I stood my feet that this
is not what I'm looking for.
And they wrote 12 mm on 10 mm. I took the measurements and discovered that this is not done. It's never done. And I told my boss that we will go to that place and we will ensure that SON sealed the place. I meant it. But when
the manufacturer wrote 12 mm on the iron.
Yes. During the course of investigation, we discovered that the dealers.
Yes.
We discussed this at an institution of civil engineers in Lagos last year. Some big time sellers of iron, they will connive with the manufacturers. So that because of the cost, reduce the thickness, just put 12 mm on 10 or 11 mm.
And what will happen to us suspecting buyers?
So because I'm a professional, I will be able to differentiate by checking the thickness.
Now, Engineer Ido,
yes,
it's happening, and it's not abating. Although we pray that there will be an end one day. If we say we don't want this again, I am a client, like he just explained. Where do I start? How do I go back? I need a new structure. Who do I call on?
Thank you very much. If you want to embark on any construction,
Okay.
it is your money that you want to spend. And even if it's a single kobo, you must make sure that it is wisely spent.
When they spend.
It does not go to waste. If you have health challenge, who do you go to?
I go to a
Go to
doctor.
a medical doctor. Even when you get to the hospital and the nurse is attending to you, you can say no.
I need a doctor.
Even if you need to have interface with a nurse before you see a medical doctor, you will still have to insist, I need the attention of a medical doctor. Building industry is made up of a lot of professionals.
Okay.
My header has said we have architects, we have builders who are supposed to work together. But you see, to ensure the safety and stability of the structure, you need a structural engineer who is a civil engineer.
We need a structural engineer who is a civil engineer.
If his input is neglected,
Okay.
what you are going to have is failure at the end of the day.
When do I need a civil engineer, or how long should a civil engineer be part of construction process?
Thank you. Once the architect gives you the design,
Okay.
you discuss with the architect, this is the idea I have.
I
This is the kind of
have a conception.
Yes.
This is how I want this place to
Once
be.
he design it
Okay.
for you and kind of gives you that architectural design,
Okay.
it is the next thing is for you to
To
engage
hand it over.
a structural engineer who is going to tell you, if you want this kind of structure, these are the materials, these are the provisions you need to make
Okay.
to get it done. Let me make an allusion to what he has said before.
Okay.
You can go, if you look at most of the buildings that are collapsing, they are from they are properties of the elites. Elites who have traveled abroad, saw one kind of building and they want it in their
Okay.
country or in their home.
They are importing
They are importing.
structures.
If
Beside-
you import,
Okay.
make sure necessary things are available to give you that particular structure in real life.
Okay.
The load bearing capacity of the door you have to be done.
Okay.
If you see a structure in America and you want to bring it to Banana Island, make sure the ground, the soil in Banana Island can carry that structure.
There's no harm in importing structure.
There is no harm.
But when you
make
bring
sure
it,
necessary
you
preparatory-
must determine
Yes.
where you want to put it.
Yes, and there is no harm in having very good structural drawing,
Okay.
architectural drawing, I mean. But the structural drawing, the structural input must
Be interpreted.
be put into it,
Okay.
so that you don't have failure.
Okay.
So a lot of design in real life are when you see them, they are beautiful, but in real life construction, structural aspect of the thing, a lot of things
Defect.
will have to be made available.
Okay.
So
Now,
at the stage of your construction, after conception, after the design, you have to consult
An
a structural engineer, and throughout the construction work,
Okay.
so that you are not shortchanged. Look at the experience, and the experience is narrating
Okay.
to us. If you just allow anybody to supervise your building, you might not know the implication of the size of the iron rod you are talking about. Just bring anything. Is this iron rod? Is this iron rod? We will continue. But it's an engineer who is a
knows?
certified engineer. I know this is not 12 mm. It is 10 mm. This is not 16 mm. It is 12 mm. I will not be able to carry the load. You need an engineer, a structural engineer, throughout the construction of the building to make sure that they do not deviate from the design.
okay. I need money. You want money. Definitely, when you are being given an assignment, you must have billed the person. I'm going to take 5 million for this job. And there should be room for negotiation. There should be room for reaching an agreement. Once an agreement is reached, then your job starts. Now, I now see, like you rightly said, that most of the buildings that are collapsing in Nigeria are buildings owned by elites. Are we saying they are not spending enough money, or those people working for them are trying to cut corners against the wishes of the owner of the building?
Thank you, sir. It can be either way.
It can be either way.
Most time, people spend good money to do design.
Okay.
But when it comes to execution of the project, they want to think the professional charge of a qualified professional is too exorbitant. I can get my bricklayer to do the work for me. I don't need you.
A roadside bricklayer who cannot interpret.
So that is one way. Another way that we cannot shy away from is that there might be connivance between the professional supposed to stand his ground and somebody who want to compromise. And that is why we have, as a professional body, anytime there's building collapse and there's an investigation, and we discover that any of our member is found wanting, that member is going to be delisted.
Okay. Now let me come to Engineer Olaiwe here. Like he just said that your body will investigate. Now, of the number of building collapse we've been having in Nigeria, how many of your investigations do we have their report in the public domain now? Let's go back to 2021 Ikoyi building collapse. Is the report out? And what is the report saying? Who is faulty?
Thank you very much. Most of the collapse buildings that have been investigated, we discover that during the design stage, a certified professional engineer, structural engineer, will be involved. But at the construction stage, we discover that they don't allow the person that did the design to supervise the structure. So and it's only when the problem comes that you start to find out the engineer, this and that. It's unfortunate. The one at Ikoyi, from the investigation we had, we were informed that the man observed that the client was not cooperating with him, trying to let the job be done in a short way. And he wrote almost a year before to relinquish his position and then the supervision, and he handed up.
Officially off the job.
Off the job because his name is at stake. The recent one that is ongoing, investigation is still ongoing. We believe and we hope, because immediately it happened, the institution of structural engineer went there and they investigated. But the assumption that is being given is that a mixer rammed into one of the columns. That is what, but there is no evidence. The investigation is still ongoing. You see, most of our people, the so-called big people, they try to make sure that certain information, especially when it involves them, are not exposed.
You can see what happened at Banana Island. Reporters that went there to cover the scene were not allowed.
You see?
I saw one that was talking to the reporters that, oh, we're on top of the situation, we're going to get back to you when you need to come in, we're going to do this to you when you want to come in. Now let's come to Oshun. You've been the chairman of this society for 2 years now. What were your landmarks? Because this is our state. We don't want any building to collapse. One, there will be wastage financially. In some instances, like in that of Ikoyi, 40 lives were lost to that incident. 5 or 7 people were rescued from Abuja collapse and some other places like that. How do we make sure, how do we assure ourselves that such things do not happen here in Osun?
Thank you.
What have you been able to do?
Thank you very much. You see, in Osun State, we are very lucky. We have not been having such. We are not having much. Okay. We had one sometimes about 3 years ago, but it was part of the structure that failed. Not total collapse. About 2 years ago, the Ministry of Works wrote us as an institution to go and carry out investigation just to test the integrity of some of the mega schools.
But
if you, unfortunately, it was politicized as if we are. And normally, for every public structure, after 5 years, integrity tests
must be carried out.
Conducted, so that when you conduct such tests, you will be able to say that, oh, there is a need for adapting here, there is a need for repair, there is a need for maintenance. Even human beings do maintain ourselves. But when we went that time, we were thinking that maybe APC, PDP, this, that. No, neutrally we went and we made recommendations so that we ensure that it is not, a structure does not fail in one day. There will be a sign where you have crack if you don't mend it and so on. So the problem we are having much in Osun now is that you see people buying the side of the setback of river and putting structures there. It's a time bomb. And you see, yes, and you see most of the road when you go through either station road or some places where we have developed. What is common now is the conversion of an existing building.
That I'm going to ask question about.
And when you do that and without a proper due diligence and restructure, redesigning, and ensure that you test the existing structure and you are putting
let me give you an example. I think I was somewhere. I saw somewhere where the roof was completely removed. And they put a decking on the first floor there. And I asked myself, was this building originally designed to be a story building? What will happen at the end of the day? In that instance, you are coming in.
Yes, sir.
Engineer,
Yes, sir.
how are you going to ensure that such do not continue in that state? This is a state of virtues.
Thank you very much. At our last meeting, last Thursday of last month, we have a committee we call PVAC.
Okay.
That is Accident and Incident Prevention Committee.
Okay.
To oversee, to make sure that they go around to check structural work that are going on within our area of jurisdiction. And they have been reminded that they have that assignment to do. Equally, Koren has ERM department.
What is ERM?
So that is Engineering Regulatory Monitoring Arm.
Okay.
To monitor all engineering activities.
Okay.
These are things we have decided to make sure we make our priority. You have said we are very lucky in Osun. We don't have this kind of incident. But umbo.
And one day.
By the time something is happening in some places unchecked, people copy bad things easily. We don't want them to bring it to Osun. But before, if they have the mindset to do it, we want to checkmate them. We have experienced elder members who are members of that committee whose personality is enough to tell anybody that, look, we tell you are doing the wrong thing, stop it, and you must stop it.
And when you say things like that, how do you go about it? You can't just go to the site and go and tell them, yo, what you are doing here is wrong, stop it, and that ends there. We
are empowered. Koren empower ERM to stop any work. And if they refuse to stop the work, we will contact the state government.
So many times we will say stop work, printed on the wall, and they will not be at the site for 2 weeks, and after the 3rd week they come back and the work continues.
Yes, you know, if we make our own efforts, we report to the government. We are not the law enforcement agency.
Okay.
We will expect and we pressurize necessary agencies to make sure that they do the needful. Let me tell you one thing. There was a time the Transmission Company of Nigeria had a problem with the setback on their power line.
Okay.
When those people were told to stop and they did not stop, we contacted the state agency. Okay. And they went there with us and they stopped the work. It is collaboration that we need. All agencies that are involved in making sure that we sanitize our society.
How much of this collaboration do you enjoy as the chairman of the society while you are in power?
Thank you very much. We do not enjoy it much. If I will be sincere with you.
Okay.
Some people, they are bigger than law and something. You see, like you said, the town planner will go put stuff work, and the people will go behind. There was a time we wanted to stop a work, and the people refused to. We went to the police station so that we can be at least they can enforce it. They said we have to go to DPO. From there they said we have to go to the commissioner and so on as well. And when we go back to the place, we discovered that the building was ongoing until we have to go the government and you know, these are the kind of things. And this ARM that we are talking about at other places, I mentioned it here, we use our own personal money and we don't get money from anybody when we go in round. We need government assistance just to give us, even if it's just a vehicle. At other states, in Ondo states, they have vehicle to be going round. NAFDAC was very effective because government supported and enforced that. So we need this. It's not until...
Sir, I wouldn't know whether you are into private practice. I know government have a league of engineers that work for the government directly. So if you go to Ministry of Works, these engineers that are working with the government, they should be able to do some things like this that we're talking about. I mean, the Ministry of Works should have a Department of Works, and they should be empowered in terms of mobility. Is that not happening?
Ministry of Works is empowered on the project they are handling. Precisely. Okay. And they have the vehicle. But this assignment you are talking about is general, different from that specific assignment. So if Ministry of Works is giving us assistance, it's just out of benevolence and that because I'm a member that are doing that. What we are saying is that if a project vehicle is away to either Edo or anywhere and we need this, there should be a vehicle for NSE.
Okay.
Since we are doing free service.
Okay. I understand now. Let's leave that. You will be inaugurated tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I learned.
Yes.
So how is the inauguration going to be? I ask you.
My brother, you have been part of us for long. Okay. We always enjoy your support. And so tomorrow is going to be very great. Our new chairman, Engineer Idowu, will be for the NSC. Will be the investiture is taking up coming up tomorrow at Aura. So maybe you tell us this.
I know my engineers around here will be there with you as well. We have a number of them around,
including the
director of engineering,
the director of engineering, even the director of information,
the director. Okay.
So the event is, thank you very much. Thank you very much. The event is coming up 11 a.m. tomorrow morning at Aurora Conference and Event Center, Ring Road beside the NPC tomorrow. The information have been going on here. Osbc have been helping us to spread the message. We are expecting the state governor as the chief host. We are expecting the president of the United States of Engineers from Abuja. And we are expecting other dignitaries to be there with us and well wishers.
Now, my wish, the wish of my Director General is that you will succeed.
Thank you.
Because he succeeded.
Thank you very much.
Sir, I want to say, you won't go too far from him to give him the need, because he said our leader. Because I remember what you said the other time. Don't go too far away from me. I thought we want to say it shall be well with you.
Thank you very much.
You are not successful until you have a successful successor.
Okay, you are not successful until you have a successful successor. And you will succeed.
Thank you. So
and you will succeed. And you have succeeded.
Thank you.
So this is where we're going to wrap it up this morning. I thank you so much for coming into the studio. Like I mentioned, we've been talking to Engineer Wasiu Idowu, the about to be inaugurated chairman of Nigerian Society of Engineers, Oshobo. And we have the outgoing chairman here, Engineer Olanioye Matthew Femi, FNISC, that is Fellow Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers, and Nigerian the Fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, IMM. What's the meaning of that? I mean, past chairman, immediate past chairman. Immediate past chairman. Okay, Institute of Engineers. And we have Engineer Razak Adepoju. He is the General Secretary. Is much around us here. Engineer Elijah Awoyemi is the Publicity Secretary. I wish your society the best as you continue to save our state from danger. It shall be well with your society. Thank you for coming this morning.
Thank you very much, sir. Before I go, finally,
yes,
every stakeholder should cooperate and follow and adhere strictly to specification, so that if the builder, the client, the architect, and the engineers will cooperate,
we have a safe society.
Have a safe society, and this collapse of building will be put to an end.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
This is where we say bye till Monday, when our colleagues will be coming around for another guest segment like this. Don't go away. AM Cafe continues from here. I'm also coming. Good morning.